It's your time, we say. Welcome, viewers. It's another season of the Your Time Show, and I am Fatima Jawara. I'm not alone in the studio like usual, but I have an outstanding young woman who does what she does best. Well, before I'll introduce her, I'll, allow it to be a mystery to you guys, and I'll allow herself to introduce herself.
Thank you, Fatima. Assalamu alaikum my name is Sophia, and I am a young Gambian student currently studying, and I live around Westfield and a point too, as the saying goes, make hill by the sunshine. All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Sophia. Gambia, it's not a surprise. Almost everybody knows you. So when you hear Sophia, obviously they will say the poetess Sophia. But nevertheless, Sophia, I would want to know your talent, because sometimes you do poetry. So what else are you into? What is so special about you that you would call something as your talent? What is your talent as a whole?
Poetry is part of my talent that I'm showcasing, and I want to take it to another level. And because talent is good to nurture, and it's part of me already to advocate through the poetry and raise awareness to the people. And we have some burning issues also in our society that I believe that it's through poetry that people will be able to listen and understand what you want to talk about. Yeah, so there's the reason why I really want to nurture this talent and make it a reality.
Wow, and you're already going beyond borders. Sophia is so very special, and she believes that her talent is poetry. And with poetry, she's advocating for so many things. Like, let's say she does the feminism thing against feminism through poetry, and then a lot more. Yeah. So Sophia, I would ask you this. Where do you get your inspiration from? Because I see you wrote about tons and tons of things that are beyond our imagination. So where do you get your inspiration from?
Usually I get my inspiration from the Quran. Because the way we are brought up in our family, you cannot wake up a day without reading your Quran. So it's a routine part of us, and when I read it, I see so many different things inside it. Okay, some people can say, okay, I get my inspiration from certain individual, looking at the person and the way, or I get my inspiration from reading certain things, and then I come up with an idea of it. But to be quite honest, the Quran covers today, it covers yesterday, and it covers in the future.
Okay, so then I'll come in there. You know why? Because I'm thrilled right now. Yes. All the guests that I have so far, were like I was inspired by nature or by my mentee or by mentor. But then you happen to come here and tell me that you were inspired. You get your inspiration from the Quran.
You know something? At the time of the Prophet, poets were the main talk about things. And looking at it like the way that they were, in the society, when it comes to certain matters, they would come and convey it to the people, to poetry. Yeah. And when the Quran came, it becomes so amazing that listening to it alone is something else. So when I want to get even an understanding about a particular problem, all the solutions is in the Quran. It depends on how you're going to fish it out. Okay, that's why you cannot just read it. You have to understand it and know what it means. So all the encounterments we have in our society today, the Quran have talked about it in one way or the other. Either it will ask you to be more patient when you are affiliated with shaitan, the way you protect yourself and all that. So if I see something like a topic or something in the society that is happening, okay, I look at it first in the perspective of the Quran. Like, we as Muslims, what should we do to counter this, or to bring a solutions to the society that everybody is going to see yourself into it? That's the first thing I think about. So when I read my Quran, I eventually get a better understanding of what I need to write about next. And that's why the last time I was saying that things that are coming naturally, okay? And it's empowered by Allah. Nobody can stop it unless if Allah, take it away from you.
Sure.
So this is the main, I think, blessings that I've actually acquired. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, mashallah. Down there, I'll say that's a very good inspiration. But then again, I'll come to that. You get your inspiration from the Quran, it's normal. Yeah. But we have some writers who are non-believers. Let's say, beyond the Islamic. Yeah, good. So in trying to connect the Quran with your inspiration, and I know not just Muslims read your articles. So how about the opposite religions? How do you feel? Because sometimes you feel you're attacked by them. So how do you see writing?
No, I have never experienced being attacked by a non-Muslim.
Okay.
Even the non-Muslims are my best friends because I'm in the social media. I'm interacting with them. We are chatting. I mean, there are certain topics when I write about it, they will come and inbox me and talk to me about how they felt towards the topic and how I treated it. Because you have to understand poetry before you write.
Exactly.
You need to know, it's part of creativity, but then you need to know what to do to capture the hearts of that individual. And you will not cause any riots or anger, but the person will read it and eventually get the message. You know the truth. The truth. If you read something, you go through it, you will obviously know from your heart that this is the reality. So my topics don't talk about separation or whatever. It doesn't bring about controversial stuff, but it's a topic that you cannot say a whole of it, this is not happening or this is not true. So often I make sure that any topic I'm going to treat, everybody is going to see yourself into it, whether you are Muslim or non-Muslim, because some of my topics are open.
Sure.
I can say. Yeah, that is it.
Wow. Now guys, I know you're thrilled right now, but guess what? This young lady out here, she's not just talented with poetry, but she's good at talking, business, and the list goes on. But we will go for this short break. When we're right back, the show still continues.
Hello and welcome to you viewers. I'm your presenter Alaji Kedram.
Representing the interests of Gambia because the
Welcome to the second phase of the show, and I am Fatima Jawara, and with me is none other than your girl GuestSaffiatou Joof. Okay, before we go for the break, we were talking about her inspiration and the type of writing that she does, where she is centered on in her writing aspect, which is she faces no controversiality outside from the opposite religion. But okay, Safiya, I'd want to know, like, right now we see Imagine writers, and so many look up to you. Yeah, would you say you're better than them?
No, to me, I see everyone as the same. We are all learning. I cannot put myself in a place that, let's say, the people haven't seen it in me. Okay, I just remain humble to accept anyone, and some of them, yes, we are in the field of writing. I see different type of my colleagues, but sometimes we exchange ideas. They come to me and tell me, okay, this is what I've written, and what can you say about it? What do you think about it? Is it a good topic or not? Okay, if I see that there is need for me to edit it for them, or there's a way that they should take up the topic and make it a better one, I'm open. I do associate, and knowledge is all about, you cannot be there if you are not ready to accept others. You must learn to accept people, interact, and open up to learn more. Because if you have to put that, like, you just keep yourself where you are, you wouldn't be that far.
Yeah. Like you said earlier before going through the break, that was why I had to bring this up, that you need to learn in order to get where you want to be. So with that, Safiya is, yeah, she's open to anybody who is willing to learn from her, because she is also learning from people or looking up to people out there. Okay, coming back to that again, we see in most of your write-ups, you write about things happening generally. So how do you come about with all that? Because I know writing is not an easy thing. It requires a lot of energy, thinking and all that. But
You must be creative.
yeah, you must be creative, but that creativity comes with something. So I don't know whether you're that passionate type who's willing to write any time of the day or what. Because usually trending or current issues, I usually see it on your status or your Facebook update. So how do you come about with that?
If you're a writer or you want to become a writer, a good one that people will often listen to, you have to be well alerted. Read every day. I read every day. There isn't a day that I would actually skip. I must go online, read about other novels or documentary or research. You must be that person that is often ready to search for new ideas, new things. And there are issues that I look at, trending in the social media. And I see it, this is a vital thing to talk about. The issue is not about discussing it within ourselves only, but we need to make the message to be well understood by others. Therefore, this forces me, and it pains me to see certain things happening, and we don't see anyone out there that addresses or try to raise awareness towards it. This is what forces me to write about certain topics.
That's it. She talks about current and trending things that are happening in our lives at large. But also, Safiya, some people might, me a part of some people, I would say, like that post that you wrote about feminists would be like you're attacking them.
It's not an attack. You don't see, the first, that one even wasn't a complete poem.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was. It was just I wrote some few lines on my profile, and within 30 minutes I saw shares, and Mutsangame took it over and started posting it. I said, but I was like, I told my sister, how did they know that I wanted to talk about these things? Because I've already written this down, but I preparing to hit it actually. So I have to do enough research towards it. I have studied along the months that have passed how social media was trending upon this feminist thing, and I look at so many women that today people are looking up to them, young kids, youngsters, and I see that there's a deficiency or there's a problem that they yet to understand. And if we don't talk about that, this is going to continue. This is the reason why I sat down and wrote that article. Feminists and what it entails in terms of Islam, what rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, why today the Western society is able to, let's say, give that privilege to women. They copied from Islam. It's only Islam that is the only religion that came first to give an empowerment to women. And that's like way back in 1,400 years ago. And then later in the 90s something, like they started emulating those things, starting to empower women on certain areas. So we need to understand our rights that Allah have talked about in the Quran first. Then we can venture into the topic of feminism. Then we can know how to behave with our men, because they are not our enemies. This is what I'm trying to put across. Because we know that there are some who are very harsh. Let's say they have certain attitudes which are not nice. And before there was a poem even I talk about women empowerment, like the way we should the way we should respect them and all that. So this topic particularly, it was a issue that was trending and people were talking about it and all that. I said, okay, let me try and bring something together to make people understand this feminist movement and where it is leading us to. Because, there are certain forces in this world, they will not just come and tamper with your system. There is a strategic way that they are using our young girls, young brilliant girls, and they misunderstood so many things about Islam towards, in parts of being a feminine and all that. Alhamdulillah, that when I treated the topic, so many people see themselves into it. And we have learned from each other, from the comment section, coming down to private messages. I have built up so many friendship with different type of even women themselves, which like they didn't see it at that angle that I was actually talking about. So alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I believe in everything that we do in life, sometimes some people try to falsify certain points in it. Because I believe women have been empowered, even in Surah Al-Nisa, and the list goes on. Even women are blessed that they have to be given a particular chapter entitled Surah Al-Maryam. So I believe with that piece that you wrote, so many women were enlightened. And I myself, I particularly read that piece and I was moved. Okay, now, Safiya, I see so many people doing poetry. And they have different motives in doing it. So what is your motive in doing poetry? Is it for the fame or for the money or what?
There's no money in poetry.
Oh really?
Right now in the Gambia, do you see anybody doing poetry and you're into money or whatever? No, that's not my aim. Maybe others. My main aim is that as a young girl, growing up in a society that there are a lot of issues that I believe my voice is important to participate in it. And I want to be part of those change makers. In that case, my talent is the only way that I can participate into such things. Okay, everybody can die, but only like few can just, sit and deliver it to expectations. Okay, if you realize that you have a talent and you are a good writer, you can deliver to expectation, as I said. Why not be part of, the society, help them in terms of the things that people are facing as a difficulty they cannot talk about. So you use your pen to voice those issues out. And who knows? Solutions can come out of it upon listening. Today you have said through that of my article, you have learned something from it. So if at all I was quiet with the talent, will you know? Will other people also know? No. So this is the main aim for my poetry talent, but not for money or fame or whatever. That is something I don't look into.
Wow, I would love to continue the conversation, but then due to the timing, and okay, I'll ask for 1 minute for you to do at least a little bit of, that thing that you do writing, for you to deliver some lines for the people out there to listen to, because I know so many people will want to hear something from you.
Yeah, I wrote so many poems, but the least one that I can read, there is one event we are cooking pertaining road accident.
Yeah, with NK.
With NK, yeah, the hero poet. He's very good, and I can bring maybe a small stanza of that, and it reads: Jok Juli Suba, by Yai, by Dom, by Jabar, duga traffic pour sutural njaboot, ku la wax ne doo ñëpp si doo ko gom. Ay yaay ana doom bi mu yaakaar. I will stop there. Maybe you can get the remaining
Suspense, honestly.
No, you can get the remaining. I don't want to say all because we are cooking it, and soon before the end of this month we will release the main video, inshallah. So if you want to know the remaining stanzas and the wordings that we use, inshallah, because I make sure that when we are doing our poetry performance or whatever, we try to bring Wolof English and other languages, because the Gambia as a whole, we want everybody to have to understand our message, because not everyone can speak Mandinka alone, not everyone can speak English and all that. So we want to blend it, people to feel and see themselves into it. So inshallah, pray, we're gonna bring it over.
Wow, I was moved, I was listening to it and I was feeling it. All of a sudden, like my dog. But nevertheless, I'll get to follow you down that to hear more on the piece. Yeah. So till we come your way next, it was an interactive session with Safiya, and I know you're all through right now. So thanks for following, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on all social media platforms. Bye-bye.